Hi, it's Lauren Abrams from 52 Weeks of Hope, and I'm here with Mary Sise, whose episode has been live this last week. It's such a good episode 163. Hi, Mary. Do you
Hey,
want to?
Lauren, great to be back.
Yeah, I know. It's so good to see you again. Do you want to introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are, what it is you do a lot, but let everyone know who it is and what you do?
Like what I'm doing today? Okay.
Yeah, who you serve.
Yeah. So my name is Mary Sise, obviously. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in New York State. And I do several things. One is I'm a energy psychology person, meaning I use the energy systems of the body for psychological problems. So, and some of that involves maybe you've heard of tapping on meridian points on the body, or you can use the chakra points on the body, or you can even use the aura of the body. So, someone would have a problem and they're talking with you about a problem, and then we say some releasing statements and affirmations. Tapping's actually my favorite one to do, and we do that. But there's all sorts of different energy kind of things I do, but it's mostly for psychological problems. The other thing I do that's really kind of cool that I don't even know if you know about, Lauren, but I serve as the director of Her Holiness Saima's Magdalena Healing Program. And so I'm a Magdalena. I have been initiated into that lineage. And what that really does is it amplifies your capacity to serve. And so I do that too. So I run that program, and I'm on the faculty of the Shift Network. I think that's new since we were together last time. And so I teach courses there, and we actually just did a Mary Magdalena Summit there. That was fantastic with all these different teachers, and we'll be doing some courses there on Mary Magdalena. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been teaching tapping and doing tapping, EFT tapping and everything for decades. Uh,
Decades. I was one of the first groups that trained
yeah.
with the developer of the tapping family, I would say, Roger Callahan. I learned it basically as EFT, like from some videos, and I was having great success. And I'm like, I got to go figure out what this guy, what's he doing that for? What's he, because I have 8 million questions. And so I pummeled him with questions and how is this and how is that? And so my work, the way I do tapping is I incorporate some of what he has. So I do it a lot differently than some people do the tapping, but I have fantastic success. And
Yeah. No, I know you do.
I'm known in the field for working with beliefs, shifting beliefs, and trauma. Yeah.
So when you talk about tapping into your soul's wisdom, can you
Mm.
explain that and how that works?
That's actually a combination of the spiritual work I do with Magdalena Healing and then the tapping work. So each one of us is a soul in a physical body, and you're always connected to source energy. You're just not always aligned with it. Like sometimes you're over here doing your own thing, and over here, and you're fussing and you're fuss. But you're always, if you're at 6 o'clock, you're like aligned to it, and that's when you hear your soul's wisdom. Is that still small voice that they talk about in every spiritual tradition, and everybody has it. Mothers especially have it. Women especially have it. Why? Because we're mothers. You kind of knew your kid was crying, and the other, you just know stuff. It's an actually very, I would say, feminine aspect of our being. And but the problem for most of us, and myself included, is there's a lot of static on the line between us and our intuition. Like, oh my God, is it safe to do this? Or, oh my God, what if I look like a fool? So shame is in there, and judgment. What will other people think? Oh, nobody will talk to me. They'll laugh at me. All that. And so we don't trust, we doubt what we're receiving, and we don't always get a clear signal. So that's where using energy psychology, tapping and things like that will help you get a clear signal, because you release these lower energies, this worry, this fear, the shame. Then you can get a clear signal. It's just energy law. It's nothing special about it.
Yeah. So that was a really good segue. I've talked to you about the fact that I have a series coming up, and I want to welcome anybody who's watching this on the replay. The series coming up for overachieving type A burnt out moms who have forgotten the pause. And without taking that pause, answers emerge in the pause. So a lot of women, they're doing, and I have a whole thing about, instead of the to-do list, how about the to-don't list?
Mhm.
Because if you don't pause, you don't hear the messages just for yourself. I mean, we maybe you hear them for your kids, but you're not getting the signals. You may the stress, everything. Um, how do you help somebody like that? And it doesn't have to be a mom, by the way. I have some episodes coming up for people that they don't even have kids. One person has an entire podcast on the pause, and she's not a mom, and she's fabulous. So go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, to be honest with you, I have grandkids and I
I
have
didn't get that. Could you try again?
somebody's Siri working.
Yeah, it was SIRI. Yeah, it started piping in here. So speaking
Okay.
of energy, weird energy is like going
Around. So I have great compassion for the parents of today with everything they have to deal with. I think about when I was raising my kids, they had COVID, they have the internet, they have bullying online, they have like everything. I just have so, and I see my children and I see my and how much my children love their children and all that, and so worrying it's just going into overdrive. There's so much chaos around you, and most of us, it's been your brain is wired for survival. Okay, so it's really survival overload, I would say, nowadays, with all that they have to do compared to a simpler time. My kids are in their 40s now, so 40 years ago, I would say it's simpler. Maybe 100 years ago, it was really simpler. Think about it. Your kids couldn't even go very far. They didn't have friends all over the world and all the other things, or could watch anything. I can't imagine. So for parents, in order to get your clear intuition versus being one of those helicoptery worrying parent, you do have to take moments of silence. You do have to be still. And then once you learn how to do the tapping, or there's many other things, not just tapping, but you can quiet down that survival brain that we all have. Unless you're an alien, which, maybe you are, Lauren, but I don't know if too many people listening are, but unless you're an alien, you're in a survival brain, in a body with a survival brain. And it's coded to watch out, be careful, look out. And you have so many things that are triggering you right now. And so to me, if you can learn the tapping, plus you can teach it to the children. So now your kids will be able to settle down faster. I can give you an example. My granddaughter, something happened in the house and she heard her mother like react like that on the phone to someone. And she thought that the little boy that they played with all the time had died because she knew he was really sick. And that just struck her like a bolt. And she just became so hysterical. And then my daughter quickly got off the phone. No, that's no. But she couldn't get her to calm down. So she was cute. So let's call Nana. So she called me and I just did 2 rounds of the tapping with her and just talked to her, quieted her down.
Let's talk about what you did, the actual process. Let's go through an experiential,
Okay.
how you did that, because this could be used in so many situations right now.
So your kid comes home and he's all upset. The kids are bullying him or something like that, or somebody got yelled at.
Or you're anxious yourself.
Like,
yeah.
Something's happening and you're like freaking out. Okay. And so what you want to do, the first thing you do is just own it. Okay, fine, I'm freaking out or I'm triggered right now. Because sometimes we think if we have that much anxiety, we'll be better parents. It's not true because you can't get clarity. And then you have to be anxious all the time. Then you burn out your adrenals and then you get sick. What parent wants to be sick? Come on. Okay. So take a breath and you just go inside. So Lauren, think about something that's like got you a little anxious right now. You don't even have to tell the world what it is. Or as a parent, you have kids, right? You got anything?
Right. It was just my most recent one was my son getting his final class for this semester. I mean, it's silly, but it's like
it never ends as a parent,
yeah, I mean.
All right, so feel the anxiety in you. This is for everybody. Think of something that you're recently freaked out about. Where is it in the body? You have to be in your body or the tapping's not going to work. So can you feel it in your stomach?
Oh yeah, no, it's always in my gut. Anything big, small, little, is my episode going to get done and get out?
Yeah. This constant
I mean, it's my trial got kicked to March, and like all the little things going on all the time. It's always in my gut. It's always in the gut.
Beautiful. So breathe into it as you think about your son. Stay with one incident, guys. Don't bring the whole thing in, like Lauren just did. So stay with one thing. Feel it in your body on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 means I'm freaking out. How intense is it?
I try not to get above a 4 or 5. I
want to see you get it really high. Come on.
Oh. I meditate daily. I really work on this stuff.
Okay, that's okay. The problem is your amygdala fires in a millisecond, sends a code, and you react. So it's not. Let's get it. So feel it. How high can it go if you let it?
Oh, I could let it go. I could let it go to way up there.
Good. Let it go. Feel it. How big it is?
Oh, yeah.
Just give me a number. 10 means I'm going to have a panic attack. 8. Ooh, you're good. Okay, down 3 inches and over 3 inches. Now, this is a spot on the body. It's right here, like as if you were doing a Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, yeah, it goes up. It goes up.
Thing. Okay. So rub this, and you're going to say, even though I'm freaking out, I accept myself. You just accept, sheesh, this is big. Even though I'm freaking out about this, I accept myself. Even though I'm freaking out about him, like I accept myself. Just accept that's where it is. Why? Because if you're mad at yourself or you pretend you don't have it, it won't shift. You have to just accept you have it. That's the first step in healing all the time. Now, this side of your hand, this is a very powerful spot on here. And you want to say, I am choosing to release this terror, this worry, whatever it is, guys, this stress, this anxiety, call it what you want. All the roots and origins of it and all that it means and does to me. Because I'm going to tell you, it didn't start here. It started a long time ago, probably when he was little. I am choosing to release this anxiety in me, all the roots and origins of it and all that it means and does to me. And you tap this part right here on the side of your hand. I'm choosing to release this anxiety in me, all the roots and origins of it and all that it means and does to me. So you're making an intention. You're telling the anxiety, I'm done. I'm releasing you. Eyebrows. Now, each one of these points that we're tapping go with different meridians, side of your eyes. And the meridians go with different emotions. Under your eye. Right here, actually, is stomach meridian. And that's the point for anxiety, by the way. Which is why we always often feel it in our stomach. Under your nose. These ones are shame and humiliation. Under your lip.
She went to the nose and then under your lip.
Then you go to your collarbone. As if you have a skinny tie on, tap there. Then you take your hands like fists and you go about 4 inches.
Taking 2 fists, you go to your underarm.
Yeah. And it's like
where you put
on your bra strap, ladies.
Yeah.
And poke around there. That one should be tender. And that's spleen. And that's where worry, fear and worry and things like that are. So you've got to get this one. It's usually tender, like, ooh, that hurts. Then tap under your chest. Then put your fingers like a laser and tap at the top of your head. But make sure all your fingers are touching because there are meridian points in all of the fingers. All right. Now, once you do that, now you're going to tap on the back of your hand. And we're going to move your eyes around. Put your hand on your body. Because the eyes are the part of the brain on the outside. So if you move them, you start to shake your brain up a little bit, which resets the amygdala a little bit, we think. The rest of the brain comes back online. So close your eyes and open them as you're tapping here on your... Look, keep your head straight. Look down in one corner of the room and down in the other corner of the room. Keep your head straight. Roll your eyes all the way around like you're looking at a clock. And make sure you get all the numbers. And now keep tapping here. Roll them around in the opposite direction. And then hum. Good. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Count. That, and then hum again. The humming will put you in the right hemisphere, the counting the left and the humming the right. As I said, I'm trying to get your brain to just knock it off. Stop reacting. Now we're going to tap again.
Eyebrows, then side of your head. Go ahead. Talk about where you are.
Under your eye.
Under your eye.
Under your nose. And your lip. And then right here at your collarbone. Under your arm, on your bra strap. Use your fist for that one. Make sure it should be a little less tender, but if it's not, don't just keep hitting it under your chest. Then all your fingers like a laser at the top of your head. All right, now take a breath and focus on what you started with and see what happens. How high is it? You were like an 8. You still an 8?
Oh, no, I don't, it's nothing.
Right. Good.
Yep. And hopefully everybody listening
Right.
went
And if you
along and you could keep going with that.
exactly, most things will take you a couple of rounds, so don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You just keep
And
doing it.
Mary, yeah, and Mary does Tapping Tuesdays
Mhm.
with and all her links are on the website and with the show notes. If you go to episode 163, underneath where the description is the link to all of that for Mary. And so now, is this also how you can quiet the noise in your head?
Well, yeah, because once you take the worry down, that's like static on the line. Now you can move inside and you can get more access to the heart, and it's not beating a million like panic attack, right? You can get more access to what's right for me. What's good for me? What's the right decision for me to make? And you can get clarity on that. Mhm.
Yeah. And I like how you said it's never what's going on. It's always something from the past, because I was told if it's hysterical, if you have a strong reaction, if it's hysterical, it's historical. There's something.
If you
Yeah.
get that, there's another funny saying I always say, I just pushed your buttons. I didn't install them. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
that idea, that concept, we all want to fix today, but it's not going to help you. Something else is going to come push your buttons. Go clean your buttons up. Quiet your body down. Oh, you might say, oh, that's where that goes. Especially when I say in this part, which a lot of people don't do in tapping, but I love it. I say, go get the roots and the origins of it. And sometimes you'll get an insight like, you know where that goes? Other times you won't know, but it shifts. It's kind of like taking out the garbage without looking at what's in it. Who cares? We just want
Yeah.
like, who cares where it started? Who cares how much your parents screwed up? Whatever, or your teachers or your sibling. I just want to be quiet so I can have a calm home, peaceful for my children. I don't add to their already current anxiety. And I teach them how to be masters of their own energy so they do well. And like when my kids would do this before school, like their SATs or something like that, or sports, that's when they usually do it. They would be able to be in the flow, be in the zone. And there's
that's amazing.
like that we can do like that. Or they want to ask the girl out, or they want to talk to the teacher about, and they're scared, or they have to give a talk at school and their brain is going danger, 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 and they're all this way. They calm it down. They can there's all ways you can imagine it. I truly invite you want to learn this, come on Tapping Tuesday. It's free. There's people all over the world doing it.
Yeah, so yeah.
And you will learn how to do it really well, and you'll get more confident. Wow, this stuff works. And that's the best way. Or you can get the book, or you can do a lot of things, but that's free. So just learn it.
Yeah, she just updated her book and all of that. So, which I just love. I had something else I wanted to talk about that it just left because I was completely into what you were saying, and it's just so amazing, and also getting aligned with what it is that you really want to do, because a lot of people are afraid to. Their life seems good, but they don't feel aligned with what it is they really wish they were doing, and they're too busy. It's the busy.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, I can't pause. I'm too busy. I have kids," and all of this, and it really is. It's in the pause. Think about when you're in the showers, when you get the most answers and the best ideas, everything, because you can't have a device in there. If you take a walk around the block without a phone, which I'm the first to tell you, it's so hard. I talk about it all the time, but it's so hard not to take your phone or not listen to a podcast or anything else. But that's when the best answers really do come.
Yes.
And it's the way to get aligned and to put your own oxygen mask on first. So what would you tell someone who's really fighting doing that?
I tell you, I get it. I've been there. I've been there. The weirdest thing, the minute, here's one thing I want to warn you about. If you don't do it, somehow you'll be, what do I say? Knocked
The
in the head.
universe is going to get your attention.
Yeah. Like for me, somebody told me, if you want to get to the next level, you need to take a month off. Really, I couldn't even take a day off. I was so busy saving the planet and answering my emails.
Yeah.
But what happened, I was at a thing and I broke my hip.
Ooh.
And I guess how long I was out of work? A month.
Ugh.
I thought it would, but you know what? Somehow the planet's still spinning, even though I wasn't available to save it. And my clients did fine, and everybody did fine. I had to learn how to slow it down. I got the message. So take my advice. Don't do that. Okay. Just like take these little pauses. You will see things will open up. Things will go better for you. The other thing I always find, and I think probably most mothers are, it's like I'm so impatient. Like when I have an idea, I want it like now.
Yeah.
And yet, if I slow it down and it'll happen in the right timing, that kind of attitude, it usually the better person comes along to help me, and it usually goes 100,000 times better than my jumping to react. So it's the difference also between, am I reacting or am I responding? What's the energy I'm doing it with? And so if you can really, well, first of all, you've got to quiet your nervous system down so you even know what calm feels like and that it is possible. And then use it more and more. And then you'll see it's just easier because your brain's not hijacking you all the time.
And I remembered the other thing, and I mean, it's a terrible story, but I love the story of what it took for you to access your feminine energy. Because earlier you were talking about the feminine, okay, your mom, using your feminine and the motherly and all of that. But I just love the story, and I actually tell it to a lot of people. So because I see your feminine side, but I guess it took a lot to get there for you. Do you want to just talk about that as one last thing? Because I just think it's a powerful message.
Sure. So I work with Her Holiness Saima, and I run the Magdalena Healing Program. And the thing of Mary Magdalena energy, it's a very balanced masculine and feminine energy. And right before I got the idea to help create the program with Mom, I went in and had a mammogram, and only to find out I had breast cancer. So I was like, oh my God, like how did I get here? Blah. And
not me. I'm a healer. I teach healers. You're a healer's healer.
I've done all this work and whatever on my issues. And anyway, so I was at a program. We were in Europe, in Belgium, actually. And Saima made me get on the carpet. It means I got to do some work. And she said, choose someone to be your feminine side, your femininity. So I picked one of the girls in the audience in the group, and I brought her up, and I'm looking, I don't know what Ma's going to, but she always finds out what I'm missing. And she said to me, what did you do to your femininity when you were 17? And I was like, oh my God. I took the girl, I put her to the ground, I put my foot on her back. And it was like, because it was like, I wanted to go to college. I wanted to do this. I wanted to be, I was so doing versus the feminine is more receiving, vulnerable, waiting, not my strong suit, tender, not my strong suit, and she looked at me and I was like, oh, and she said, what do you intend to do now? And I knew if I didn't shift this, I was be in trouble. I created cancer. I created it. I created dis-ease in my body, an imbalance, a contraction of the feminine energy. And you contract energy, you create mass. It's very simple energy law. So I picked the girl. I took my foot off her back, picked the girl up, stood her up, and I just welcomed it back. I gave her a big hug and I cried and I just said, I'm sorry I did that to you. But then, that was the start of it. So the energy came back to me. But now I had to train my brain and my body to like walk slower or speak a little slower or wait a minute, pause. There's your pause word. I had to like train myself because I'm used to going a mile a minute and, I could run a small country, they used to say. So anyway, so I had to like really train things. But I saw after a while, the energy began to flourish and way more in balance. My heart opened more. Yeah. And I'm able to teach and create this program and receive the initiation that goes with the program. and serve with such greater capacity and power that it's amazing where I am now and what's been 7 years.
Yeah, I wonder, there's so many, I bet every woman relates. That's why I like telling the story. There's a point everyone can say, oh yeah. I mean, I feel it maybe because I relate, but I
Yes.
always was such a tomboy until, like, everyone has a story, right? And it's, because that's just how we had to do things. But
And then but for some people, what they suppressed was their masculine. So
I
they
guess I didn't hang with them.
well, they would be our friends. But anyway, we're up there like playing baseball or some crazy thing.
Yeah, exactly. I always played baseball. All right.
Exactly. So, but they more, and what they need to activate is more the divine masculine, like courage and their voice. So it's really about being in balance. You either suppress one or the other. Most of us are just, if you were in good harmony and balance, you'd have fantastic health and you wouldn't be worried. You can't be in good health when you're worried because your energy contracts.
Yeah.
So that's where you get all these symptoms all over the place, and then you run into doctors. So in order to have health you have to be in harmony, and your energy has to flow and has to be coherent.
And that's where it takes it back full circle to what you were talking about in the very beginning, with all the energy and all the systems.
Yep. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, because you may look solid, but you're not. If you look at you under an electron microscope, you're all moving energy, surprisingly.
Oh yeah.
So,
Your energy systems inside and outside and surrounding you and everything.
Exactly. So once you shift the energy, everything has to shift. It's really cool. Once you release like this anxiety, and other things might make you anxiety, but you just get like, I am done with this. I am gonna, really tackle it. And you will shift big time but you got to stay with it, and do it, keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it feels great. It's a feel good. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It feels good. All of it.
I'm fast. Like I'm not gonna spend an
Yeah,
hour talking about why I should be worrying about this planet. You know what I mean? I want to calm down so I get my intuition on what action I should take. This is the other tough thing about this time. There's so much information out there. And now you have AI. So you have a lot of fake news, false. We are not going to know who to trust anymore. And so developing intuition, you're listening to that still small voice. This is right for me. This is right for my family. This is yes, this is right for me. It may not be right for your sister. It may not be right for your neighbor. This is right for me and my family. This is what my soul is calling me to. And so the more you can tap into that, otherwise there's too many opinions out there. And now even who knows if they're accurate. The other thing I'm doing this month for people who are watching this shortly, I teach at the Shift Network, and I'm doing a 7-week course on tapping. And so they're more than welcome. Jump in on that. You just go to the Shift or come on my website. It's on there.
Yeah, just go to her website and
my website. There's lots of free things on there too.
Yeah, she has really cool stuff. There's all kinds of very cool things. So
there's a 7-week course that'll really teach you how to calm yourself down and do this.
And you get to become a very discerning person for you.
And your family and your children. So the kids, the kids pick up your energy because you're the one who's like the energy of the house. They always say if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So but that's true. So you're a big, like an energy station that pulses out to the whole family. So when the kids see you scared, they think, oh my God, something really bad is going to happen.
And it's not. Yeah, and it's not.
No.
So but this is great,
moms.
Yeah. This is great. So anybody who has questions, Mary is available. I'm available. And thanks for watching the replay. So Mary, any final words?
Let's think. What can I say? There's nothing wrong with any of you.
No.
None of you. It's your brain, how it got wired, how you got programmed, and you have within you the power to reprogram yourself. So you're not helpless, hopeless cases, or this is who I am. No. this is what happened to me. So this is why I'm this way, but I can fix that. So reprogram yourself. I really invite you to take this on.
Yeah, and you can watch this again and again. Just follow it and do the tapping that Mary showed you how to do. Go to our Tapping Tuesdays. Thank you so much. This was great.
Great, Lauren. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.